Hello, welcome to Who Wants to Be a If you haven't already bought FIFA 22, make sure you go into the description and check out aniba.com. There will be a option to either buy it on PC or Xbox, or you can go onto PSN gift cards and then buy a couple of those. You can get the game, maybe the Ultimate Edition, and some FIFA points on top of that. It's probably the cheapest way if you're on PlayStation to use the gift cards, of course, and that way you can use the discount code as well at checkout to get an extra 3% off. So if you just make sure you enter that before you do continue with your purchase, you'll save yourself some money. Hello and welcome to episode number 1 of the Derby Crowd Life, and to start off this episode we are going into a season that's kind of like no other, to be fairly honest, in my entire lifetime. With this Derby team, it does say we have a 4.8 million transfer budget here, but I might be tempted to go down quite an authentic route with what's happening in real life. Essentially, Derby have been given administration, and essentially we've been given a minus 12 points deduction, and it's looking likely that a lot of assets at the club are going to get stripped, players are going to get sold, so I'm not 100% sure how close I want to do it to real life, of course. What I might tempt to do is kind of start off with a points deduction, so just lose the first maybe 4 games, 5 games of the season, and then that way it's kind of authentic. There's obviously all this new stadium stuff which I've kind of just stumbled me a little bit because I'm not too sure what I want to really do it and whether I can actually change this once I'm in the career mode. So I just kind of want to go for a black and white kind of look to it. So yeah, hopefully I can change that customization once I get into it, and that's not just the only time. We will put it on strict, but as I said, what I kind of want to do is give me no money. I know you can get loads of money, but maybe I can just not spend the money and do it that way. We will be doing it on ultimate difficulty with sliders as well. I could always just disable that and then I can't sign any signings, but I'll leave it there and I'll just keep it up to me to decide whether we do sign any players or not. But yeah, as I said, when I do these career modes, I have a very particular signing policy that not many people go down. I don't like doing things that are very kind of predictable in terms of career mode, just signing players like Bellingham and Rashford and Sancho, those really good career mode players. I like to go for something a little bit more niche.
Without further delay, we are pleased to introduce your new manager.
Seem to have a new cutscene here. Tried to make him as close to me as possible, whether I've done that or not. On Ultimate Team, Jagielka and Baldock aren't there. The question is whether they're in career mode and on the game at all. So he is actually in. So right, we've got Baldock and we've got Jagielka. They don't have any faces, which is a little bit annoying. But at least they're in the game and I don't have to kind of restart the career mode, which I was kind of worrying about. Which is weird. I don't quite understand why he's had a... Like, if you look at the career mode and Ultimate Team ratings, who the hell is FOMIN? Who's FOMIN? 72 rated. I don't know if it's because we've got such a few amount of players. EA have just given us this Russian. I don't want him. I'm almost tempted just to release the player because he doesn't play for us in real life, and EA have just gone have a random Russian for whatever reason. I'll leave him there for the time being. Yeah, as I said, I kind of want to stick with the squad that we've got just because it kind of keeps it authentic, and we've got more than enough, to be frankly honest. Like, there's not really a need to sign anyone, especially in this first window. Whether I do it or not, we'll have to wait and see. The only thing I might be tempted to sign would be a striker. But I'm kind of tempted to look at like the free agents and see what's there. So there's not actually that many free agents this year, which is quite strange because usually there's quite a few. Aaron Gunnarsson's not bad. Might he'd be around 70 rated, but generally centre mid's probably not the area that I'm going to look to improve. I think Lang's okay. I could be wrong. He looks relatively okay in terms of stats, but all in all, I think we'll probably just leave the squad, especially for this first episode. Obviously, you guys can recommend some signings, but I'm not 100% sure what I want to really do with this team. As I said, it's been a while since I've actually done a career mode, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not going to lie. It's a bit of a drop in the ocean again of trying to remember what all the things do. What I usually do, a really good way to tell how your squad depth is essentially just make a second team and then put all the players that aren't in the first 11 into this. So if we just put, for example, Kazim Richards, I might be tempted to actually let me build the best 11 first, because at the minute obviously Bielik's injured, so I'll put him in there. I probably do prefer Baldock to Kazim Richards, just on the basis that he's got relatively okay pace compared to him. I know he hasn't got a face, but that'll do for the time being. And then we can put you there. Is that the best 11? Probably. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this Russian guy. I don't know if it's a glitch on career mode and everyone's got him or whatnot, or it's just Derby because we've got no players. Yeah, let's just save that and go into the second team. So as I said, you just switch out the entire 11, and then that way you can see what you need. Right, so if we look at the second team now, as you can see, I'm not too sure why that's given a -5. There we go. So I think if I do something like this, that way it essentially tells you where the weaknesses are in the team very easily, because you can see what your backup option is. Obviously I need to switch out the keeper as well. Another situation where I probably will, I don't know, see Marshall's like 36 now, so I probably should sell him because he's probably on decent wages, and maybe looking at a goalkeeper, that might be the position that we do sign for. Although we're in a transfer embargo in real life, I might just let us have a keeper, because it's one of those positions where it doesn't really make a difference. You know, if we sign a really young goalkeeper, that will obviously help out a lot. So I think the only probably player that I'll transfer list is Marshall. As you can see, everyone on a 1-year contract? Oh, there's about, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players have more than a year left on the contract, and the rest of them all expire at the end of the season, so that'll probably take a bit of the transfer money that we've got at the minute. So that's something I can look at either in between the episodes or whatnot. But yeah, as you can see, if we convert it into the age, it's a very interesting squad that we've got here, because you know, you go up to, I don't know what, do you know what, I'm just going to release this foam and just get rid of him. Don't even care. Literally, don't know why he's at the club. But up to, for example, Bielik, all of these players can probably grow a good 20 ratings easily. And then above Bielik, you've got Lawrence, Shinnie, Morrison, and Byrne, who will stay at their rating, and then the rest that will decline. So there's quite a few old players on top of the young players, which is a really interesting combination. You'd usually get most of the players around, you know, Lawrence's age of 27. But there's so much good youth in this squad. You know, Stratton, Watson, McDonald, Ebeselli, they're all going to be really, really good. So probably don't really want to sign anyone just on that basis that we can develop those. So if we go over to, is it squad up? I think it's squad up. Yeah, and then development plan. Cool. If we just go through this, and then what I essentially do it is on the basis of what is the least amount of weeks it takes to upgrade the player. So for example here, convert into a goalkeeper, it only takes 32 weeks. Right, so I've gone through all those and sorted out their development plans. Generally speaking, I'll probably just simulate most of pre-season because it's not necessary. As I said, the only player I'll probably sell is Marshall, so I'll just block all offers for Jason Knight. So yeah, just let me know in the comments what kind of goalkeepers I should look at. We'll have a look in the second episode, of course. It's just kind of having a look and assessing the squad in the first episode to see where the weaknesses are, essentially. All in all, there's not really a massive hole. You know, if we pick up a few injuries, then maybe a defender as well could be handy. But as I said, I don't want to sign a player and then block what we currently have in youth players, because I could easily develop these 20 ratings. Another thing that we need to do, as always, although I could maybe have a go. Actually, I'll see what it is on Ultimate, because maybe you've tweaked some of the sliders themselves. But I think we'll do one pre-season game, just to see how I do on FIFA 22. To be frankly honest, I don't know how the gameplay really is. Popped it onto 4-minute halves just because, obviously, it's only pre-season, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, let's see how we do. Right, here we are then for the first ever game of this Crow mode. I do need to start the camera because I don't know why they don't. They save the other stuff that you've transferred over from the last game, like your favourite club and what kind of controls you want to do, but they don't save the camera angle, which is a bit strange. And I think actually that one's 9 and then the other one's something like that. I can't remember. We'll go for that for the time being. Yeah, usually I don't actually do pre-season because what I do is I just simulate it. But then what I find out is because of the player sharpness, obviously when you get to that first championship game, the players will just be absolutely worn out. I'm finding it's really difficult to actually get out with your team. I don't know if that's because of the formation that we're doing, but it's a good ball here to Lawrence. Go on, get around him. Oh, they're heavy. Usually I could just touch that around them, but I think they've altered that. That's a good turn. Not usually what you see from the AI. Might be a goal there as well. Good save from Roos though. I must say that most of the things that I've seen so far in this game, goalkeepers are much more intelligent, you know, just not as grounded as they were in the past. Alright, I might just simulate the second half because basically it's not really that important. I just want to get to the point where we basically get those minus 12 points into the system, because that's quite an important part of this series. I think trying to get this not that great of a team out of the relegation zone and pushing towards the playoffs in a very short period of time. So we'll just quickly sim through these. Don't know why that's different now, but we'll just quickly sim through these pre-season games. As I said, not going to be doing any signings other than a goalkeeper. I think that's the only thing I'll let myself have. Just because I don't, you know, Roos is okay. Like, Roos would do a job, but for the purpose of making the series long-term interesting, we do kind of need a youth goalkeeper. We will sell Marshall there. Another transfer offer here for Burton, as I said again. Just not going to sell anyone other than Marshall, which we're going to replace anyway with another young goalie. I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head who we can even go for. One thing I will do is just have a quick look at like goalkeepers under 20. I think Bursic was actually quite good. Well, he wasn't that good, but he's been rated highly at Stoke, so we'll add him to the shortlist. But yeah, anyone. What I like to do is make it relatively realistic as well. I don't want to sign. Oh, he was that goalkeeper that everyone used to sign. I could sign Capcom Tom if we wanted to. I think he's only like 50 rated, so probably not worthwhile. But yeah, someone who's like 60 rated plus, under 21. That'll probably do for a goalkeeper. There we go. Marshall has been sold, which will probably happen in real life anyway. Especially with us now in administration. We'll just switch the team up to get the fitness. So yeah, Bursic is kind of the perfect example of what I want. If any of you guys can think of anything that's similar style, you know, around mid-60s to 70s and under 21. The only thing about him is obviously he's kind of a league rival, so I might not pursue him any further. But you know, I like to do signings that are a little bit out there and not as predictable as what most people do. But yeah, as I said, what we want to do is simulate the first 4. Although the problem is if I simulate I might get draws, so I have to like purposely lose. Let me just double check if we've got the third kit as well. That's one thing I want to check. Nah, just home and away. I knew they always do that. I don't know if it's for every championship team, but yeah, a little bit annoying because I do quite like the third kit this year. But essentially what you can see here is a very weak team, unless I make it even weaker by putting players out of position. Maybe that'll help, just to make sure we definitely lose the game. We'll do something like that. So then, if I just quick sim this, hopefully we lose. You'd expect